Teach your team to be more creative, a podcast on creativity and innovation from the team at Innovation Minds. Teach your team to be more creative in 2020. In this Spotlight series with Innovation Minds, we connect with Dr. Amy Climer of Climer Consulting about how to kick off the new year with deliberate team creativity. It was a pleasure to catch up with my creativity colleague, Dr. Amy Climer, who used to be an outward bound instructor. We delve into the essential elements of team creativity and the nature of inspiration. Amy works with corporate, government, and nonprofit teams who are seeking to be more creative. So, what are the big three of deliberate creativity teams? Dr. Climer's research on the development of the creative synergy scale in 2016 points to the necessity of three essential elements for teams to be creative. One, a clear team purpose. While it may seem obvious, it is no surprise at how often teams have not actually talked about their purpose. Ask the question, what is our team's purpose? And if you get different responses from different team members, then you have some work to do to bring everyone into alignment. Two, strong team dynamics. This includes trust, communications, and conflict. Amy Climer notes that this dynamic also consists of some healthy creative abrasion, where team members disagree around the work they are doing, but don't disagree due to personality or identity. Number three, know and use a creative process. Team members need to know and use a creative process that separates divergent and convergent thinking so that the best and most workable ideas see the light of day in execution. Much of Amy's work includes teaching these learned creative processes to teams, including creative problem solving, or CPS, and design thinking, so that teams have a framework for practicing deliberate creativity. The team at Innovation Minds integrates both CPS and design thinking in a Thon's framework that ignites creativity and innovation with teams through both in-person and virtual events. Regardless of the process, technique, or event, the key and consensus are that teams develop creativity skills through practice. 100 ideas in 35 minutes, is it possible? No breaking a sweat, and there are tools for your team to get there. The Climer Consulting Group brings a toolkit of creativity techniques, including her own developed Climer cards, which prompt metaphorical thinking and deeper conversations. Where does organizational creativity go astray? Number one, top down versus bottoms up. What do we mean by that? Quite simply, innovation goes sideways when ideas begin from the top down versus the bottom up. Amy notes that leaders often say they want to engage all stakeholders, but frequently arrive at the party, such as a team ideathon, with a predetermined perspective of the right answer or solution. This can decrease trust and cause frustration if team members feel their time was wasted or they were deceived about the purpose of the event. We at Innovation Minds reinforce that solid innovation begins with top-down strategic objectives, but with generation of bottom-ups ideas. The truth is, leadership of creativity teams requires a sort of comfort with ambiguity and not having the right answer. Number two, we really aren't taught creativity. You won't often find creativity as a course in elementary, middle, high school, or college. However, creativity is a teachable, learnable skill. Like with most things, with practice, you and your team can be more creative. However, the sad reality is reflected as we, in the research, as we age, creativity plummets. 1968, George Land with Beth Jarman research study to test the creativity of 1,600 children ranging in ages from 3 to 5 years old who were enrolled in a Head Start program. This was the same creativity test that Land devised for NASA to help select innovative engineers and scientists. The test was to look at a problem and come up with new, different, innovative ideas. Amy is passionate about teaching deliberate creativity as early and as often as we can, and dispelling the myth of sudden inspiration. Yes, Sir Isaac Newton had that spark of metaphorical thinking with the famous apple about gravity, but it was not without a lot of heavy mental lifting before that. 3. Avoiding naysayers. Amy warns that while creativity often encourages deferring judgment, it does not mean there isn't space and place in the creative process for convergent critical thinking. She also notes to listen carefully to those naysayers, who often have a value added point of view. It is the naysayer who can become your idea's greatest advocate once barriers are removed. 4. Recognize and embrace technology. Listening to a talk from a medical futurist, Dr. Ruben Pillay from the University of Alabama, Birmingham, Amy recalls hearing that for a medical specialist to be up in their field, they would need to read a whopping 40,000 journal articles a year. Data and artificial intelligence will represent great accelerators of the learning and innovation process. Innovation Minds includes the use of AI powered by IBM Watson in our state of the art innovation program. Guess who's coming to dinner? One final question we are asking our guests in this series is who would they invite to a Jeffersonian dinner? Amy Climer includes both personal and leadership contemporaries on her guest list: Michelle Obama, Brene Brown, creativity researcher Dean Simonton, Dr. Mihala Sesmentahali, Dolly Parton, Thomas Edison, Harriet Tubman, a few teenagers, close friends, and her wife. It's a dinner party certain to have sparks of information and unique perspectives on 2020 and beyond. If you're an organizational leader, an innovator, and thought leader based in Silicon Valley, Innovation Minds is hosting such a Jeffersonian dinner on April 16th, 2020, focused on how we can create cultures of innovation. We thank Dr. Amy Climer for sharing her expertise. For more information about bringing deliberate creativity to your team, visit Climer Consulting and connect with us at Innovation Minds.